Hey YouTube people, I'm not going to talk a whole bunch about this because I've talked about it in 2 other videos, but I do have some viewers who want to see what I did to improve the performance of the Topton F12. This is a device off AliExpress, link in the description, but it has a 265H in it, which has a 140T graphics solution, and it's not conventional looking, but for the price and what you get, it's a very good deal. It's a very good value. You get something that's on par with an 890M, but costs almost half the price. So it's a really good solution. It has 2 fatal flaws. The first is the cooling solution here was not quite adequate, mostly due to the thermal paste and the VRMs overheating. Not to mention that this case side comes off and you have RAM, and if you put fast DDR5 5600 RAM in here, it can get quite hot. So there's a couple of things that we need to fix with this. So this video will show you how to take the unit apart and replace the thermal solution that they have in there with PTM 7950. And the other thing that you can do to especially improve the RAM cooling performance is I have 3D printed and designed this bracket that allows you to install any 120 millimeter fan that you want on the side there, and that really helps keep the memory temperatures down. So if you do this, you end up with a really stable device, as proved by the TimeSpy records. Repeated that test about 20 times, and you can see that the performance stays almost as good on the first run as it was on the 20th after doing these modifications. So this video will show you how to do those. So I'm going to show you take it apart. Let's go ahead and get into that right now.
Hey organic friend, let's get started on fixing my cooling.
All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is pull off the side. Now this is magnetic, it's super easy to do, no problems here. And while I didn't immediately do that in this video, I highly recommend removing everything. There's no point to not get it all out. Take the DDR5 out, take the SSD and the wireless LAN out at this time. That's what I would recommend, although I didn't necessarily do that in this video as I was figuring out how to take it apart. And there's 4 screws on this side. So you can see those 4 screw holes. You're going to take all 4 of those screws out at this time. And with those screws out, you'll find that the other side, the other plastic side, is now able to be pulled off completely, giving you access to the CPU cooling side of things. And the only cooling that this has by stock is on that one side. Okay, so now there's 3 screws. They're kind of the larger. There are some smaller screws holding the fan casing on, but you're just going to remove these 3 screws on the outside edge. And that reveals the little vapor chamber we have going on here. And now you'll see there are 2 small screws on this side in each of the corners. And those 2 need to be removed. With those screws out, you can actually flex the front of the case a little bit and pull it out. That gives you clearance to pull the entire board out. Now, if you didn't take my advice that I mentioned earlier, if you didn't already unhook the Wi-Fi, you're going to want to have done that at this point, because you may pull the antennas if you're not extremely careful with those. But if you have disconnected the Wi-Fi, which I had not, so I kind of struggle with that. Not struggle, I just take it apart here at this point. But I'm going to skip it ahead once I have all of the back pieces off. Okay, with the board entirely removed, you'll flip it over and see that there are 4 black screws on this side. You don't want to touch that metal piece that's in the middle, the silver metal piece. That's kind of the bracket for the CPU in general, so don't mess with that. Just remove the black screws here. And with those screws off, you can get this vapor chamber off. Just wiggle it slightly and clockwise and counterclockwise until it comes off. And you can see what we're dealing with here. I mean, it's not horrible as far as pasting jobs go. There's plenty of paste there. It's just not ideal, and those cooling pads also are not necessarily ideal either. So we're going to replace all that with PTM 7950. If you don't know how to use PTM 7950, refer to my channel, search for PTM 7950. I got lots of videos on it. But we're going to get into that, and I'll be using some thermal putty as well on the VRMs. So the PTM 7950 has plastic on either sides. I use it when cold. I put it in the freezer. And what you want is to get a nice thin layer of this stuff over the top of it, and then remove the first plastic layer, put it down, and then remove the top plastic layer, which can be difficult sometimes. But yeah, we get it on there, and then we're going to put the thermal putty on next. So the thermal putty I'm using here is called UPSiren. I'll leave a link in the description. It's used a lot in graphics cards, but it's really high quality stuff. It's 16.8 watts per M.K, whatever that M.K means, I forget. But it's really nice stuff. You roll it into kind of a little tube. You want to make sure it does squish very, very easy. So what you're trying to do here is just get full coverage in a way that's going to spread, but not spread too much, because it will spread fairly easily. You want it to squish onto the components you're trying to cool. So with the putty in place, you're going to want to gently set this down on top of it. You want to line it up perfectly because you don't want any of the contents to shift. You want to come directly down right over the slots where you need to be. And you're going to have to flip it over to screw it into place. So you want to be very careful as you flip this over. But once you do, all that's left is installing those 4 black screws and tightening this back down. Use an X pattern. You don't want to just torque one down all the way and not the rest. Start slowly and go from one corner to the cross corner, and then the same for the remaining screws. So just be careful. And at this point, it's literally just reassembling it the way that it was in the first place. Obviously, don't forget to plug your wireless connectors back in. Use extreme caution with those connectors. They can be very finicky. If you break one, you are not going to have good Wi-Fi, and it's not going to be fun to try to resolder it, which you can do. It's not, life isn't over, but just be very careful with those wireless leads. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. All the silly AI antics aside, that was just me screwing around. But if you enjoyed that, subscribe to the channel. If you want to pick up the Topton F12, look at the link in the description. If you want that 120 millimeter fan bracket adapter, store.cbutters.tech will show you where you can get one. Anyways, thanks for watching as this mini PC comes back together, and hopefully that helps you have a really awesome new little unit here. So anyways, see ya.